Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more news from the Golden State Warriors, but before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. There have been many surprising deals this season, and many more will happen later this season. The Warriors are in a hurry to win the championship and are interested in a great defender, who was once a defensive all-star, to further enhance the roster. Even though he is a veteran player, for the Warriors who want to win urgently, center Al Horford will be a perfect fit for the Warriors. Warriors may steal NBA champion Celtics center via free agency to assist Steph Curry. The Golden State Warriors' 28-27 record and placement as the number 10 seed in the Western Conference may not be an indicator that the team is a future title winner, but certain positional upgrades could bring the franchise back to contention. As things currently stand, Golden State's current starting center role has been filled by their number 52 overall pick in the 2024 NBA Draft, Quinton Post. Post's play has been productive for the most part, as the 7-foot three-point shooter was able to sign a standard NBA contract with the team on February 7. Even though the 24-year-old rookie has shown flashes, it's likely that he might not be the best option at the center position if the team wants to remain in the hunt for a title with Stephen Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green on the roster. As a result, Golden State's general manager Mike Dunleavy may opt to scour the free agent market this summer. Fortunately for Dunleavy, he could look to begin negotiations with free agent center and 2024 NBA champion with the Boston Celtics, Al Horford. At 38 years old, Horford has remained a solid contributor for Boston as they look to win their second consecutive title in 2025. The five-time All-Star and 2017-18 All-Defensive Team selection is averaging 7.9 points and 5.5 rebounds, while connecting on 35.3% of his three-point opportunities. The Warriors were able to get a great look at Horford's skill set when they faced off against the Celtics in the 2022 NBA Finals. Horford was unbelievable for Boston despite their eventual series defeat, contributing 12.5 points, 8.5 rebounds, and 2.8 assists, while knocking down a ridiculous 62.5% of his looks from distance. The Celtics would surely love to bring the gritty, floor-spacing veteran back to the team this summer, but they might not be able to offer him his preferred salary due to the team's financial instability. Through the 2028-29 season, Boston owes the tandem of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown a combined $562 million, which could force Horford to look elsewhere if he'd like to continue his career. Golden State's hypothetical acquisition of Horford heading into what would be his 19th NBA season could plausibly still be a great decision, as the two-man game between he and Curry would have the potential to be a dangerous combination due to Horford's ability to stretch the floor. On defense, he'd also fit right in as a solid rim protector next to two all-time great defensive players like Butler and Green. As an added bonus, Horford's NBA Finals DNA would give the Warriors yet another reliable talent with endless postseason experience. How Butler's audacity, poise are powering his Warriors teammates. The Warriors and their fan base are getting a close-up look at what seemed apparent from a distance when Jimmy Butler III was in Miami. He is one of those rare players whose mere presence lifts teammates to an appreciably higher level. Particularly those teammates who haven't yet earned their NBA stripes. This was visible almost immediately after Butler's Golden State debut February 8 in Chicago, and it was conspicuous in the second quarter Friday night as the Warriors were running away from the Kings in Sacramento. As Stephen Curry watched the first 5 minutes from the bench, Butler's presence and play were the force behind a 22-8 run in less than 5 minutes that gave the Warriors a 53-36 lead that was never truly threatened. Rookie center Quinton Post made 3 three-pointers without a miss. Moses Moody made 2 shots without a miss. The Warriors were 9 of 11 from the field. Butler had 3 points, 2 assists, 2 hockey assists, 1 rebound in a game-changing 5 minutes. The Warriors took a 15-point lead into intermission and stayed in command in the second half to gain a 132-106 victory to snap a 5-game losing streak to the Kings. Us controlling the second quarter had a lot to do with the experience but also Jimmy's presence, Curry told reporters in Sacramento. That lineup when I was off the court, when you look at the plus-minus, there's a reason that they took advantage of those minutes because when you have a lead and you're able to control possessions and still get stops. That has a lot to do with him and the presence and the confidence that he exudes out on the floor. Butler's impact is a major factor in Golden State's improved overall efficiency. It's only 5 games, but the plus-minus numbers tell a story. Brandon Podziemski is plus 79 post-Jimmy. Moses Moody is plus 46. Kevin Looney is plus 20, Gue Santos plus 14 and Post is plus 19. The decorated veterans also benefit, as Draymond Green is plus 59 and Curry is plus 42. Butler is plus 28. The Warriors are 4-1 but have the confidence of a team on a 12-game win streak. Jimmy gives us some swagger, Coach Steve Kerr said at Golden One Center. Butler's individual per-game statistics through his first 5, 20.4 points on 45.5% shooting, 6.2 rebounds, 5.8 assists, whisper that he is productive. His 41 of 47 shooting from the foul line says he's filling a void. But the 35-year-old forward's effect on his new teammates seems to be blasting through a megaphone. He passes, Kerr said of Butler. He creates shots with his passing, with his penetration, with his brilliant footwork and fundamental play. We always talk about playing off 2 feet, Jimmy plays off 2 feet. Jump stop, pivot, never turns it over. He's got claws for hands, and then he gets the ball out of traffic, and we end up with wide-open looks. He just connects the game for the rest of the guys, and we're getting much better looks because of Jimmy's presence. Which is what he did in his 5 seasons with the Heat. They reached the conference finals 3 times and NBA finals twice, in 2020 and 2023. Their overachievement stemmed from the culture established by team president Pat Riley, the tactical expertise of coach Eric Spoelstra and the presence of Butler. Consider the roster of the 2019-20 Heat. Bam Adebayo was 22, in his second pro season and not yet a star. Tyler Herro was a rookie who started 8 games. Duncan Robinson was an undrafted guard with his first standard NBA contract. Kendrick Nunn was the starting point guard, Myers Leonard the starting center. Butler dragged that team, the number 5 seed in the Eastern Conference, into the Players and all the way to the NBA Finals. Leonard has since played 12 games, none since April 2023. Nunn, 29, unable to stick with an NBA team, was last playing in Greece. The 23 Heat was a number 8 seed that raced through the play-in tournament, went 12-6 through the conference playoffs before losing in 5 to the Denver Nuggets in the finals. That Miami team introduced the world to the likes of Max Strus and Caleb Martin and the point guard duo of Gabe Vincent and long past his equals prime Kyle Lowry. Yeah, those guys balled out. After the win in Sacramento, Green spent a few moments pondering what Butler brings to the Warriors. Why Knox cherishes 3 deeply meaningful minutes in Warriors-Kings. Not as Kevin Knox dapped a long line of teammates and tapped them on the chest walking off the Golden One Center court Friday night after the Warriors' blowout win over the Sacramento Kings. Not as he and Kings assistant coach Jim Moran, the man Knox credits with bringing his love for the game back as his head coach of the Rip City Remix last season in his first G League stint, embraced for a long and deeply meaningful hug. Not walking down the tunnel, and definitely not in the locker room. Knox has scored 30 points 5 times this season, and he has 19 20-point games to his name. None compared to the 5 points he scored Friday night. That was my best 3 minutes of the year, Knox said to NBC Sports Bay Area. The former number 9 overall pick in the 2018 draft played his NBA game since February 4, 2024, and scored his first points since January 31st of last year. Not everyone's journey is the same. Some players need to take turns they never expected, traveling down roads that weren't in their plans. For Knox, that meant a trip down the coast to star for the Santa Cruz Warriors this season. Golden State was impressed by his willingness to play for the Warriors Summer League team, and his clear talent and NBA body stood out in training camp, as well as throughout the preseason. They liked him enough to make sure he was part of the program, but wanted to see other skills continue to develop and be refined playing for their G League affiliate. The G League isn't an easy grind to embrace, especially for a former top draft pick. But Knox, still only 25 years old, did everything the organization asked of him, and everything finally paid off in the last few days. His numbers were undeniable. In 28 games for Santa Cruz this season, Knox was averaging 21.6 points per game on 49.9% shooting with a 39.1 three-point percentage, and was grabbing 8.0 rebounds per game. Knox wasn't only overpowering his competition, he was learning the Warriors system and how to succeed, combining their style of play and what always has worked best for him. On Wednesday, the wait finally was over as the Warriors signed Knox to a 10-day contract. On Friday, the third day of his contract, Knox found himself on an NBA court again and didn't waste any time reminding everyone what kind of player he is. "So proud of Kevin," Steve Kerr said. "He's been through a lot, coming around and committing to his time in Santa Cruz and getting better and improving. I think he can help us. He only got in for a few minutes at the end, but you see the talent. I have no doubt that there's going to be some games where we put him out there and he's going to help." Happiness radiated off Knox all morning at shoot-around and going through his pregame routine. This is his comfort zone. His happy place. Where he belongs. While the rout was on, Kerr kept some of his top players on the floor to ensure a win coming out of the All-Star break. Draymond Green looked like he was about to walk to the scorer's table and get back into the game, until Kerr directed him to jog a different way. Green hustled down to the hallway, letting Knox and others know their number had been called. Knox spent the majority of the fourth quarter stretching, hopping on the bike and doing anything to keep his body warm. With 2 minutes and 57 seconds remaining and the Warriors leading by 23 points, Knox took off his warm-up gear and was in the game. 1 minute later, Knox caught a pass at the right wing behind the three-point line from a driving Gue Santos. No hesitation, just as he has always known. 3 points for the Warriors' newest number 31. Steph Curry raised his arms up. Every coach clapped, knowing the deep meaning of those 3 points. Just 19 seconds later, Knox curled off a screen to get downhill, caught a bounce pass and took one dribble to get to the rim for 2 more points, giving him 5 points and 1 rebound in his 3 minutes of play. "Those are minutes that a lot of teams are watching, not just here," Knox said. "The Warriors, Steve, everyone's watching. Those were 3 good minutes." A 10-day contract is how the Warriors found a gem in Gary Payton II in 2021. Knox wants to stay with the Warriors by signing another 10-day contract and hopefully remaining with the team for the rest of the season. But as well as anyone, he knows the business of basketball. Every rep and every opportunity is amplified. Every second and every minute matters more. Knox is a bucket, it's in his blood. Knox also knows everything else is what he needs to do to keep wearing a Warriors jersey, or open enough eyes around the rest of the league. "We got Steph Curry," Knox said. "He's going to put the ball in the bucket already. I think they're looking for guys to go out there and play defense and just play off him and Draymond, just do it at a high level and efficiently. With my size, my athleticism and my offensive ability, fitting in offensively will be really good, but I think it's the other end, defending and rebounding, that's going to be huge for me." He might remain in the NBA for a few more days. He might keep his spot in the Warriors' locker room for the rest of the season. What is a guarantee is that nobody is taking those 3 minutes or his 5 points Friday night away from Knox, knowing everything he fought for to make his way back to where he knows he always has belonged.